In 1917, hundreds of young women believed they had found the perfect job. They had no idea it would slowly become their death sentence. Every tiny brushstroke made the watches glow in the dark. The company promised the paint was completely safe. Supervisors even encouraged the workers to shape their brushes with their lips before every single stroke. They unknowingly swallowed tiny amounts of radioactive paint hundreds of times every single day. At first, nothing seemed wrong. They laughed, danced, and proudly showed off their glowing clothes after work. But within a few years, the smiles disappeared. Strange pain began spreading through their bodies. One by one, the workers started losing their teeth. At first, they thought it was just bad luck. Then, something even more terrifying happened. Their jaws refused to heal after simple dental procedures. Doctors watched in horror as parts of their jawbone slowly began to decay from the inside. No one could explain why healthy young women were suddenly becoming so desperately ill. Some workers became too weak to walk. Others suffered constant pain that never seemed to end. Yet, the company continued insisting the glowing paint was completely harmless. The company blamed everything except the paint. They claimed the women were simply unhealthy, hiding the terrifying truth from the public. Secret company reports revealed something shocking. Their own scientists already knew that radium could seriously damage the human body. Instead of warning their employees, the company continued production, allowing more innocent young women to unknowingly face the same deadly fate. As more workers became ill, fear spread throughout the factory. Everyone began asking the same terrifying question: who would be next? Refusing to stay silent, several brave women decided to fight back, even though they were weak, sick, and running out of precious time. Their lawsuit would soon become one of the most important legal battles in American history, changing workers' rights forever. The women filed a lawsuit against one of America's most powerful companies, knowing the odds were stacked heavily against them. Company lawyers fought aggressively, hoping to delay the case until the sick workers were simply no longer alive. Every delay meant another woman became weaker. Some were already too ill to stand without help, yet they refused to surrender. Their voices trembled, but their courage remained stronger than the company's endless excuses. Newspapers across America finally began reporting the heartbreaking truth, and public opinion quickly turned against the company. For the first time, millions of Americans realized that corporate greed had silently destroyed innocent lives for years. As the trial gained national attention, the company realized the truth could no longer remain hidden from the American people. Facing overwhelming public pressure, the company finally agreed to settle the case instead of risking an even greater scandal. Each woman received financial compensation, but no amount of money could restore the health they had already lost forever. Many of the Radium Girls died only months after the settlement, their bodies permanently damaged by years of invisible radiation. Their suffering exposed dangerous workplace conditions and forced industries across America to rethink employee safety for the very first time. Their voices never truly faded. They became symbols of courage, inspiring future generations to demand justice and safer working conditions. The Radium Girls' fight sparked nationwide conversations about workplace safety, forcing lawmakers to confront a painful reality they could no longer ignore. New regulations slowly emerged, requiring companies to protect workers instead of treating them as disposable tools for profit. Scientists also changed the way radioactive materials were handled, recognizing the deadly risks they had once underestimated. Although many victims never lived to see these changes, their sacrifice protected millions of workers who came after them. Their names became symbols of courage, reminding America that justice often begins with ordinary people refusing to stay silent. Nearly a century later, their heartbreaking story still teaches one unforgettable lesson: human lives must always come before corporate profits. Today, nearly every workplace safety law carries echoes of the Radium Girls' courage, even if most people have never heard their names. Their case proved that even the largest corporations could be held accountable when ordinary people refused to give up. Universities, historians, and legal experts continue studying their story as one of America's most influential workplace tragedies. Their voices may be gone, but their fight still protects millions of workers every single day across the United States. Behind every safety rule lies a painful lesson. And behind many of those lessons are brave people history almost forgot. The Radium Girls never set out to change America. They simply wanted honest work, fair treatment, and a chance to live. Long after the factories closed, the memory of the Radium Girls continued shining brighter than the glowing watches they once painted. Historians now call their battle a turning point that forever changed the relationship between workers, science, and corporate responsibility. Their courage inspired countless future lawsuits, protecting generations of employees from hidden dangers in workplaces across America. Every safety warning, every protective glove, and every workplace inspection carries part of their extraordinary legacy. They never became famous movie stars or celebrated heroes, yet their bravery quietly saved millions of lives over the decades. Sometimes, the greatest heroes are ordinary people whose names history almost forgot, but whose sacrifices changed the future forever. Imagine going to work every morning, trusting your employer completely, never realizing each day was silently stealing years from your life. That was the heartbreaking reality for the Radium Girls, whose dreams slowly disappeared beneath invisible radioactive poison. Their greatest mistake was believing the people who promised their safety, never questioning the danger hidden behind those reassuring words. Even today, their story reminds us that honesty, transparency, and human life should always come before profit and corporate success. Because of their sacrifice, millions of workers now return home safely to their families after every single working day. Their lives were tragically cut short, but their courage continues protecting people they would never have the chance to meet. Nearly 100 years have passed, but the Radium Girls still remind us that courage can outlive even the darkest moments in history. They never imagined they would become symbols of justice. They simply wanted to live healthy lives and support their families. Their story teaches us that silence protects injustice, while ordinary people speaking together can change the course of an entire nation. Behind every workplace safety law, there are real people whose pain and sacrifice made those protections possible for future generations. Their names may not appear in every history book, but their legacy continues protecting millions of lives every single day across America. The Radium Girls lost their lives, but they gave future generations something priceless: the right to work safely. May we never forget them. If this story moved you, share it with someone who believes every worker deserves safety, dignity, and justice. Thank you for watching.